Tanner Bobby of the Guardians, and you're listening to Locked On Guardians.
You are Locked On Guardians, your daily podcast on the Cleveland Guardians. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Surely everybody is feeling good, right? There's no heart palpitations. And everybody's calm and ready to move on to game 3, right? Surely everybody is in good shape. And hey, Rally Dino. I didn't wear it on game 1. That's my fault. I wore it today. It worked. It might smell tomorrow because I was sweating all day from this game. Might do a quick wash to use it tomorrow at this point. What's up, everybody? A quick post-game edition of Locked On Guardians to react to, oh my goodness, what a game. Thank you all for being whoever you are. If you're, regulars, if you're not, if you're just looking to not be someone with that shirt onto my body. Yeah, I'm gonna get it in the wash tonight, or maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. Maybe it would be a bad idea to wash it after tonight. Someone let me know how they feel about that. This is Locked On Guardians, their only daily podcast on the Cleveland Guardians, covering the Guardians, the majors, the minors, the draft, everything in between. I'm Justin Lada. I think all of you here know me. I don't know if I have to go through all the usual banter here because it's a post-game reaction show. Whew. I'm just trying to breathe a little bit, just trying to get myself situated into this entire mess. My goodness. Never easy. It's never easy with this team. But you know what? It hasn't been easy for what? How long? It hasn't been easy for how long? It felt like it was going to be easy with those home runs, of course, when Rocchio went deep and then Bo Naylor comes back with a homer and then Daniel Sheeman comes through with another hit to spread the game out. And I was like, oh, man, you got to get Cade Smith out. And then I started thinking, well, who else do you trust in the bullpen? Because you've already used Gaddis and Junis and Heron. And, hey, the bullpen was really, really good. And the Guardians, they pitched out of jams all day long. Tanner Bybee did a great job in the first inning. I mean, this game could have gone completely haywire in the first inning, right? Chase Delauder drops that ball. Brian Rocchio, that ground ball, was very close to hurting him, and then that put 2 on, and Tanner Bybee comes out and strikes out 3 in a row. That was a huge pickup. And then he goes into the dugout and, tells Chase, like, look, things are going to be fine. You're good, man. It's all good. Great leadership there from what could have been a disastrous first inning. And then George Valera comes up with a huge response. I know it's not a response run, technically, but it's a response to what could have been a rough first inning, and you wanted to get ahead. And how big was that challenge play at third base, by the way? I mean, think of all the things that had to happen. I want to talk about Stephen Vogt, his chess match there. Oh, look at that. Jeff is out there booing me. Wow. All right. My own co-host is out here dissing me. I don't know if I have the strength to carry on after that one. That hurts. That cuts deep to my core. Think about the split decisions that had to happen there, right? Chase Delauder, who, by the way, hasn't played in an actual game since July 11th, okay? Number one, hasn't played center field in I don't know how long because he's been playing right field when he was healthy. He wasn't really playing center. He makes the decision to throw to third, which was the right call, by the way, to throw to third base instead of trying to throw home and get a run. He goes to third in a split-second decision. Jose gets there, gets the right tag on him, and then Vogt very quickly had to decide whether or not to challenge that play. It's early in the game. It's a pivotal moment, and you don't want to burn and be wrong on a challenge because that was a very close play. But it was the right call because it could have really impacted the game. You gave the Tigers a two-run swing right there. And he goes out there and he gets the challenge in the split-second decision, and it works. And then I can't say enough about how the whole team reacted there between Delauder, Jose, and Vogt. And that run comes off the board. The Guardians get out of the inning so big. Now, obviously, I scored 6 runs, but who knows how the momentum changes at that point. But it's really good. I hope for this team. I hope that the offense found something there. they didn't do a great job against Casey Mize. They got his pitch count up, and they kind of let him back in to the point where, he was able to go a little bit deeper. I thought it was really interesting, though, that they pulled Casey Mize very early. And I understand it because you go to left and you go to Holton and you go through the slew of left-handers the Guardians put in the lineup, which, could have been tough. And credit to Stephen Vogt for maneuvering the right way, because he bounced back with the right decisions, didn't he? Because Hinch goes to the lefties, and instead of pulling the lefties out and going to Rodriguez and Noel, he sticks with them. And it didn't work early, right? I think was it Kafis or Manzaro had the chopper base hit. He stuck with the lefties because they only had one lefty left, and you knew Hinch was going to wait until late in the game to pull that lever if he needed to. And that's exactly what happened. And it worked out. It really worked out for them to do that, because he ended up being able to use Jonathan Rodriguez to force Tyler Holton out of the game to get a righty in. And check out on the screen here, too, David, who's the creator of this shirt, is donating 100% of the proceeds from this. If anybody buys one of these shirts, to go to Project Glove Up, where kids who want to play baseball who may not have the money to get gloves, they will be able to get baseball gloves so they can enjoy the heartache and pain of watching Guardians baseball like we all did today. So he uses Jonathan Rodriguez, and he gets Holton out of the game. Then he goes to Sheeman, and it didn't work out. Sheeman didn't have a good at-bat. It is what it is. But he got Holton out of the game, and he knew that A.J. Hinch would hold that lefty back until late in the game, which he absolutely did. And the offense found a way to come through. It was too soon for Will Vest in the 8th inning. I think they were waiting because they're the road team, and you want to save Will Vest, which I understand. Maybe for the 9th or the 10th, if it goes there, you had to hold on to Will Vest. But Stephen Vogt was the aggressor in this one with his bullpen. I know AJ Hinch pulled Mize early and then came in with Troy Melton, which obviously backfired. But Stephen Vogt was the aggressor in this one with the bullpen. He got Bybee out early, which, I think he had to at that point, because it was just starting to pile up on him a little bit. The walks were not good. It looks like we won't know the time of the game. I know some people have asked the time of the game on Thursday for Game 3. Will not know the time of the game until the completion of the Red Sox and Yankees game. I think it'll be 6 o'clock if there's no other games. So Stephen Vogt goes out, and he gets Tanner Bybee early and goes to his bullpen, and I totally agree with that. Sabrowski comes in, does a great job. So fantastic. Sabrowski comes in, and one pitch gets out of that inning. Just one pitch. So awesome. Ends up coming back after that. Gaddis had to work out of some trouble too. He works out of a jam. And Tim Herron, oh my God, the outing of the year from Tim Herron. Tim Herron has had 2 massive stones outings against the Detroit Tigers. A couple weeks ago in Detroit, and then this game. Holy crap, Tim Herron. And how about AJ Hinch pulling Riley Green at that moment? How big was that? He pulls Riley Green, his second best hitter on the team, maybe his best, depending on how you feel about Kerry Carpenter. And he ends up not hitting late in the game. They have to go to Justin Henry Malloy, who ends up hitting against Cade Smith late in the game. I would much rather that be, no matter how things went with Cade Smith, I would rather much face Justin Henry Malloy in the 9th inning with the game on the line than I would Riley Green when you don't have a lefty. So great maneuvering by Stephen Vogt. I don't think AJ Hinch made any real terrible calls except for the Riley Green thing. That was surprising. Riley Green's also a poor defender in left field, so that might have been about defense as well. Just unbelievable. Jacob Junis looks great, and, I know things got dicey for Cade Smith. We'll talk about that for sure a little bit. I will text the time of the third game as soon as we know. We won't know until after the Red Sox and Yankees play tonight. If the Yankees win, this game will be at 1 o'clock. If the Red Sox win, it'll be at 6 likely. All right, let's go through some comments here. The move to get Melton out, or I think they're talking about Holton, not Melton. Cheeks Malone. DeLauder looked promising. Yeah, let's talk about this. Chase DeLauder's at-bats in this game were fantastic. A guy who's making his major league debut in an elimination game hasn't had a true, at-bat in a real game since July. And his at-bats were great. He worked a walk, hit the ball hard a couple times, just was really in there. He'll be in the lineup again on Thursday, of course. That worked out great. His at-bats were good. He made solid contact. He didn't chase anything poor. Just did not look overwhelmed at all. Looked like he was just ready for the moment. Couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. Yeah, I think we're all worried about the bullpen for tomorrow. Chase looked as advertised, absolutely. I worry about Cade for tomorrow. Hopefully, you only need to hit Cade tomorrow for an out or two. Maybe that's where it comes into. Finally, Kwan had a hit. That was big, right? Kwan getting that hit was a big deal because that, Schneemann getting that hit, pulled it out. And that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping all these guys, Bo Naylor, Rocchio, Kwan, hoping all of them getting hits can open things up a little bit. They can relax. You know what I mean? Hitting is contagious. And I know you can't necessarily guarantee things are going to carry over into tomorrow because tomorrow, could be totally different, especially when you're facing Jack Flaherty and Slade Ciccone is a bit of an unknown in the postseason, but hopefully it can be contagious for tomorrow. The bullpen was superb. Absolutely. They worked out of jams and got a lot of strikeouts. That was huge. Yes, Chase looked confident, better than I would have expected. I mean, I don't think anybody could have expected more than what he did. I know he had the drop in the first inning, which really was terrifying and hurt. But you look, Tanner picked him up, and it worked out fantastic in the end because his at-bats were good, and then he had that huge throw to third base that kept the Tigers from taking the lead. Yes, we get Naylor versus Naylor on Saturday if the Guardians can get a win on Thursday. Yes, we are all going to need artificial hearts at an early age. Yes, between 2024 and this, man, I don't know if I could take it. We had a break between 2016. I guess from 2019, I didn't really have much to go on in 2020. 2022, I don't know. I'm not sure I felt the same in 2022. This is way more ridiculous. Very calm. Let's go Guards. Yes, absolutely. The fact that some of these guys right now in the bullpen or in the lineup are starting to wake up a little bit has to calm everybody. That was a huge momentum shift. Absolutely. The Heron inning was a huge momentum shift. Every time I think you took the Tigers, you turned them away from scoring a run and taking the lead, I think continued to chip away at them. I think it absolutely did, and it kept the confidence on the Guardian side. Even though they weren't getting runs in, when they weren't getting hits, they weren't getting runners on, I think you kept chipping away at the Tigers thinking, man, when are we going to come through? When are we going to come through? And the Tigers got to be kicking themselves right now because they had so many chances. And it's so deflating to be able to pull them back from those chances. So that was absolutely huge. And you're going to need here's a good one. Cleveland profiting from the Guardians shenanigans. Yes, I do think we're all going to go there. Maybe the tobacco industry as well for some people, which apparently has made its way to the Guardians clubhouse. We won't go there. Yes, Bybee showed a lot of maturity. Absolutely, going up to talk to Chase DeLauder in between innings, but also not letting it get to him. Earlier in the year, that's an inning where Tanner Bybee might have given up a home run or might have gotten mad, and who knows what would have happened. So he's grown a lot this year too himself. Yes, I think it'll be a 6:00 start if the Yankees lose. That's what I'm thinking. That had a 940 expected batting average, I think, or no, 790 expected batting average. DeLauder's line drive, so he was right there. That was just absolutely fantastic. Thanks for being here on the live reaction. I'm getting all the reactions, and I've said my piece, honestly, so I'm just going to be reacting to all your comments at this point. I thought Vogt did a great job in this game all around. The decisions paid off for them, even if it was rough in the first inning with Chase DeLauder in center. He looked like he was ready for the moment after that, and the pitching was great. He got Tanner out at the right time. The bullpen moves were right. The only thing you can argue is maybe sticking with Cade Smith as long as he did. But it was either that or bring Matt Festa in with runners on, which the only thing I could have said is maybe with his 5-run lead, you should have just had Festa come in. But you weren't expecting to take a 5-run lead, so I don't know if you had Festa warming up. That's the thing. So I don't know if that would have worked. So that's a really good point there. Yes, Vogt never went to Noel. He never went to He did go to Rodriguez, but only used Rodriguez as a ploy to get Holton out of there, and it worked out big time. Even if it didn't work out right then, it worked out down the line. So he was thinking, very impressive for Vogt, I think, to be thinking long term there, because yes, in the moment you want to get Holton out of the game, but you also want to score runs. But he was thinking innings down the road, which is hard to do. You got to think about the now and the down the road in the game. You have to think about the chess pieces ahead of the game. And I think he did a great job doing that. Yes, could have been a sweep if the Guardians played good defense on Tuesday. Absolutely. Okay, so I could not listen to the audio. I was working, and I was also doing some other things. But the fact that call was reversed after the replay, I'm glad it was pretty clear, because I wasn't sure how that was going to be. Slade does not have to be perfect. Slade, we'll talk about this more on the actual episode of Locked On Guardians, but Slade and Joey Cantillo, I think, are your ways to go tomorrow. I won't dive into that, but I will say that I think there's a method to the madness for tomorrow. Some more information on David's Rally Dino shirts going to the glove charity he's working with. So get with David for more information on that. And if David gives me more information, I'll send it out. We'll put it in the links to everything. I think they're going to run the same lineup out. I honestly do. I think it's going to be the same exact lineup. Valera hit the home run. That was huge to get him on the board. So I think you'll go with the same lineup tomorrow. Yeah, there's Hedges Jeff was talking about. Hedges was great in September in game 1. And honestly, we considered Hedges coming in late in the game to draw a walk because he's been good in September. But guess what? Bo Naylor comes through. So, yes, everything went the Guardians' way in this one. Just unbelievable. Yes, Dom's right here. Lands is right. This is important. You just don't have anybody else besides Hunter Gaddis, who thankfully was good, without, the closer who will not be named. Cade Smith as a setup guy would have been great. No, I don't think there'll be any openers tomorrow. That would be interesting. I don't know. Jack Flaherty, to me, the personality of Jack Flaherty to me strikes me as somebody who I think would maybe have an issue with having an opener in front of him. I don't think they'll do it that way. They haven't done it that way all year. If they were smart, maybe, because you would get all the righties in to start the game from Vogt, and then you go to Flaherty and force him to go to the lefties, and then you can bring out Brant Herter, but you're kind of put in the same situation as in today. I thought Chase DeLauder would be in the lineup hitting second, but I think they'll go with the same tomorrow. I think it'll be the same exact lineup tomorrow. I don't see why not. Hey, Chad. Chances make a deeper postseason run. I don't know if the offense kind of wakes up a little bit. I mean, maybe if guys like Rocchio and Quan and Naylor, Jose's still got to come through, but they're pitching around Jose. Manzardo's got to wake up too. He's had chances too, and he didn't come through. So I mean, Manzardo's got to have a big hit in the series. I think for this team to make a deep run, you need Quan and Manzardo to step up, because those are your best bats behind Jose. So the rest of the guys, Naylor, Rocchio, DeLauder, that's great, and Valera, but your big three has to step up for sure. Yeah, 2 years ago, DeLauder, Valera, and Kafis starting the playoff game in 2025. Yes, 2 years ago, I would have said that's great. That's fantastic. That's exactly what you want. That's what they were hoping for. It just hasn't unfolded the way we all thought. But here we are. I think it'll be interesting to see how long they go tomorrow with Slade and go to Cantillo, because, I mean, you're going to pull, if there's a sign of trouble for Slade at all in the first 3 innings, you have to pull him. You can't, there's no tomorrow, so you have to pull tomorrow no matter what. For all the hyperventilating as to Cleveland missed opportunities, Detroit for sure could be saying we should be getting 2 days off and going to Seattle on Saturday, because we should have come through in the clutch when we did. And they didn't. So, post-game quote, Babe Ruth, Rocchio. Yes, it is officially Rocktober as of today. Playing at 6 tomorrow, I would prefer that for sure, 100% instead of 1 o'clock. so I can give my full attention to that. Although working during the game, maybe that's helping me stay a little bit more calm because I have to keep working. So, yeah, you've already had Cade out there. So, I mean, 31 pitches, though, is a lot. 20 pitches is normally a lot. 30, I like this from Kevin. Who starts if we win tomorrow? After we win tomorrow, very common. Who starts Saturday? If they don't use Cantillo on behind Saccone on Thursday, he'll start game 1 on Saturday. But if not, it's going to be either Allen or Messick in Seattle. Daniel Espino is closer next year. I would love that absolutely. Slade does well versus bad offenses. Well, the Tigers' offense is bad, but man, they sure as heck had a lot of opportunities in this game for a bad offense. So I hope they don't have as many opportunities on Thursday because every time they have a chance, it may not go the Guardians' way, but they have done a great job with the bullpen. Yeah, this was the issue last year. Quan started pulling the ball more. I think he got into a bad habit, and now he's popping up a lot. I think that all came from the wrist and the back injuries he's been having. Hopefully he's 100%. I don't know. It's just not great. But yes, I think it's important the Guardians showed signs of life in this game. You need Quan and Manzardo to play up their potential. That's exactly what I said, Ben, because otherwise it doesn't matter what the rest of the guys do. Yeah, you couldn't have seen Cade losing the command like that. Absolutely. The only thing I could have said is I don't know if they had enough time to warm up Matt Festa, given how quickly that game got to a five-run lead. Like almost a deficit. But I don't know how fast you could have gotten Festa up. Maybe you could have gone to Cade for a batter and pulled him, but Festa's fresh for tomorrow. And you're definitely going to need Festa tomorrow. So now he's 100% for tomorrow, and maybe Cade can throw 5 or 6 pitches. I don't know. It's okay if you're late, Steven. I am going to wrap this up here in the next couple minutes, but it's okay to celebrate. And yeah, we're glad you're celebrating and then showing up here after that to kind of talk about things, though. On July 15th, Chase DeLauder making game-saving throw in wild card game 2. Yeah, the team was in bad shape at that point. He had been hurt for a couple of days. And yeah, I think the fact that he was playing would have been great, but in a playoff game, I definitely wouldn't have believed that. Always had a good arm. If you would have said playing center field, I would have had a lot more questions, but playing right field would be a total difference. Game 3, assume he's down. Cade, I don't know. I think everyone's going to do their best to be available. I think at best you're hoping you maybe get 1 or 2 outs from Cade Smith and everybody else does their job. But, we'll see. I agree. The early games suck. I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, the Cleveland's only selling out, or not selling out. They only have a third, 2/3 of their stadium full instead of the stadium full. Well, look, we just found out on Sunday that Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be 1 o'clock games. You had 36 hours to plan PTO and buy tickets and miss work. That's very hard for a lot of people. So we are a beacon of hope. Well, I mean, hey, the Guardians offense was the beacon of hope. We're just here to talk about it and take your comments. Honestly, the Guardians offense was the beacon of hope, and the bullpen getting it all done. Yes, you cannot blame Cleveland fans for the attendance. The fans that were there were loud. It sounded good. No matter who was there. You just can't blame the fans for only having 36 hours to get PTO and get to the game. It is. Matt, sorry you just joined. This will be up as a live stream, I think, immediately after, so you can go back and listen to everything we went through. I talked about the offense finding life. We talked about Cade Smith. We talked about how good the bullpen was. We talked about AJ Hinch's move. We talked about Vogt win the chess match, and just all try to keep the heartbeat going. I agree. It sounded sold out. Even if there wasn't 30,000 there, it sounded like it. Okay, so I give credit to the fans who were there and who were able to be there. I appreciate that because I couldn't be there this week. It was too late for me to get PTO. Thanks every day, O'Brien. Go Guardians. I hope it's 6 o'clock tomorrow. You get some more rest, and not that it matters, but it's a couple extra hours for Cade Smith's arm to be off if they get a 6 o'clock game, right? I guess that's something I would love to see the Yankees lose on tonight, and then watch the Guardians play tomorrow at 6. So yes, we want the Yankees out as well. I think the Red Sox, Garrett Crochet's tough, but I think the Red Sox aren't as dangerous as a team as the Yankees, even if they do win. The Yankees are just goofy. So all right, I'm going to wrap this up. I have to go walk a dog, and I have to get dinner going, and I have to take some time to myself and mentally unwind and re-prepare for the full podcast with Jeff that'll be coming your way. I think we'll just release that as soon as we're done, honestly, so it has more time to breathe. So as soon as we've done recording, maybe we'll record a live one. I'll see if I can convince Jeff to have us record live tonight. But appreciate y'all being on here at this time to wrap up the game. Everybody go and drink a glass of water, take a shower, breathe, go outside. Because we're all going to need to come back tomorrow and be ready, whether it's 1 o'clock or 6 o'clock to do it again. I'm going to go start some laundry. I don't know. Okay, before I sign off, let's see what everybody else thinks. Do I wash the Rally Dino shirt or do I wear it tomorrow unwashed? I need a quick poll here. Come on. Do I wash it or not? I'm going to wear it tomorrow one way or another, but let me know. Am I washing this or is it bad juju if I wash it? All right, we got 1 vote for don't wash. I'll get David's info out there to take a shower with the shirt on. That would not feel good. I'm not going to do that. Wet clothes are not great. I haven't had one response yet that says wash it. So it looks like good thing I work from home so nobody can smell me. Smell is the scent of victory. Don't take it off. I'm not sleeping in this thing. Jeez. All right. So the overwhelming vote is to not wash the shirt. Yes, we do need heartburn medications, I think, to sponsor the show. Certainly better than tobacco. I will not wash the shirt. I will keep it down here. I will put it on for game time tomorrow. Yeah, you have to take Jeff has to take the Dino to school tomorrow, I think. So there we go. Will Ferrell vibes. That's funny because this is an unpopular opinion I'm going to end with, but I am not a big fan of Will Ferrell and the movies he does. I've seen Anchorman, but the rest of them, not so much. I know that's going to get me booed on the way out of here, but appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm going to go Febreze the shirt because I apparently can't wash it, so I have to walk the dog, and then I will keep the shirt ready to wear tomorrow. I'm not showering in the shirt. Stop talking about me showering in the shirt. It's not happening. All right, go Guardians, go. Come back later for maybe a live stream of Locked On Guardians for the official show for the other for tomorrow. Go Red Sox. So that way we have Guardians in prime time and no more Yankees. All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. You are the best.